one of those tech options that you'll continually discover new uses for, and that's why I think he's going to be a standout as a tech option. Now, I'll tell you why in just a bit, but first, who is Red Guardian? Born Alexei Shostakov, he was one of Soviet Union's best test pilots. So good that the media actually declared him a hero of the Soviet Union. His wife, well, she was an equally famous ballerina, Natalia Romanova, aka Natasha Romanov. Yep, the Natasha Romanov. The KGB decided that the husband and wife duo were great candidates to become special operatives. However, this meant that Alexei could have no contact with any of his past friends and or acquaintances, or even his wife. Natalia was told that her husband had perished, so to live up to his hero status, she decided to train to become a spy, the Black Widow, who of course eventually defected to the USA. Now back to Alexei, he trained to become the Red Guardian, a costumed agent intended to be the Soviet Union's version of Captain America, and through his training became a cruel, ruthless man, very different from what he was when he was living with his wife. On a mission in China, Red Guardian comes face to face with both Captain America and the Black Widow. And even though they were adversaries at first, the combination of seeing his wife and doing the honorable thing resulted in Red Guardian saving Widow and Cap, while he himself was buried under an exploding volcano. Alexei resurfaces as the new Ronin at one point, gets captured by S.H.I.E.L.D., gets rescued by Yelena Belova, the White Widow, and is currently part of Bucky Barnes' new Thunderbolts team. In Marvel Snap, Red Guardian is a 3-energy, 3-power card with the ability, on reveal, afflict the lowest power enemy card here with -2 power and remove its text. Okay, I don't even know where to begin with this guy, because at first glance I'm like, alright, he's a tech card that's gonna punish low power cards with strong effects, right? So cards like Iron Man and Dracula, great. Then you realize lowest doesn't always mean low powered, so it's just lowest in that lane. So you start thinking about cards that people will play in a lane all by itself. Lane winners like Devil Dino and Null, you can just shut them down, take away their text. And you don't always have to play him late also. What if you play him earlier when there are less cards on the board? Ravonna Renslayer, Mobius and Mobius, Angela, Elsa Bloodstone. Given the right placement, you could shut a lot of those cards down. Cards that scale up, cards that benefit your opponent. Now, the biggest upside to Red Guardian on top of turning off ongoing cards, like Cerebro and Blue Marvel, he also does it to cards with innate abilities that Enchantress or Rogue cannot touch. Cards like Angela, Evolved Cyclops, Wolverine, X-23. And like a lot of tech cards, he seems like he's pretty plug and playable, so it's not so much a question of how do I build a deck around him, but it's more like seeing if the deck that you're already playing has a slot for him as a tech card. I mean, he's more expensive to play than Shadow King, but cheaper than Shang-Chi or Enchantress. Look, you might find some synergy with the recently tweaked Lady Deathstrike, who will clear out the low power cards in that lane that you want to drop the Red Guardian. Oh, and is this a coincidence? I don't think so. Lady Deathstrike is in the Spotlight cache with Red Guardian, as well as High Evo. It's a good week to spend your keys, I reckon, especially if you don't have High Evo. I mean, he enables an entire archetype and he's Series 5, so that's definite value. Lady Deathstrike has yet to prove herself in the current meta, but together with Red Guardian could be a pretty lethal combo. He's definitely unique in what he brings as a tech option and also very situational. You know, I think he's gonna be a very high skill ceiling card, and the better you are at identifying your opponent's decks and understanding what their win conditions are, the more value you're gonna get out of Red Guardian. Because